What's up, everybody? Apurva Terwadkar here. Welcome to the final week of the soft skills training program organized by Yelgar Club. I know it has been a long time since I posted the last videos and assignments and stuff like that, but I've been going through a lot. I have had a lot going on, and I'm sorry if that was very long. So let's move on to today's work. So as you've probably read in the curriculum, this week is about resume building and presentation skills. So this video in particular is about how you could build your resume, how you could write down all that you know and put it into your resume. So in order for you to understand what to put in your resume, how to build your resume and stuff like that, I've put together a very simple yet informative method: online website building. Yes, I will be putting in extreme amounts of efforts by not taking any efforts at all and just teach you what's online. I'm kidding. See, the thing is, you must be wondering why I've been consistently using the web pages and websites and all of that to teach you. Thing is, as I've mentioned since the first day of this course, I'm not qualified. I'm using what I've experienced, and these are the websites I referred to teach myself what to do and what not to do. So it's a matter of understanding how things are done from the perspective of people who are actually doing this for money, people who are doing this as a career. So it's better to learn from them rather than just from me. So this is where I went to for guidance, and consider this as me bringing it to you in a way, and I'll be explaining it to you along the way, and it's free. I'm not charging any money, so phukat mein internet mera ja raha hai, aapka nahi ja raha, so that's fine. Let's move on to the first thing. So first of all, when we talk about resumes or CVs, circumvite. So what is a resume? I'll be putting forth what a resume is right here. So a resume, not a resume, it's pronounced resume. So a resume is a document created and used by a person to present their background, skills and accomplishments. So that is pretty straightforward. And the difference now, resume versus CV. So now what is a CV and what is a resume? So let's look between what the difference between a curriculum vitae and a resume is. Okay, so first of all, CV versus what is a curriculum vitae or vitae? I don't know. I say vitae. You can also say vita, but then you'd be going to a place in India. A curriculum vitae is what gives you a summary of your experience and skills. So this is usually how do I put this? It's kind of like your report card for your entire academic career. So a resume is when you go in for professional level work. A curriculum vitae is basically a summary of everything you've ever done, everything that you know and everything you can do. So for entry level candidates are longer than resumes, at least 2 or 3 pages, because it's basically all of your skills and all of your experiences, everything you've done. And for mid-level candidates, now entry level means what? Entry level is like in school, in college and stuff like that. For mid-level candidates, a CV means when you're in your middle age and stuff like that, when you've done a lot and you have a very long life that you've gone behind you. So this is much longer, who have numerous publications such as researches and stuff like that. So these contain extensive information on academic background, including teaching experience, degrees, research, awards, publications, presentations and other achievements. And these are longer because they are not directed to one particular thing. That's the difference between a resume and a CV. A CV is not directed to one particular thing. It is what you give to somebody when you do not have any background information and you want to know what a person is like. A resume will never give you the background of a person. A CV is much more precise in terms of understanding how a person is or what a person is, because that is the only way you will understand. A resume, on the other hand, is a very short to the point document that will allow you to get a place in a particular organization. And that is why most of the times people tend to avoid using CVs for jobs, but they tend, when somebody asks you for your background, people will give you your will ask you for your CV. A curriculum vitae survey summary is a 1 to 2 page condensed version of a full curriculum vitae or vitae. A CV summary is a way to quickly and concisely convey one's skills and qualifications. Concisely means very small yet very accurate. Sometimes large organizations will initially ask for a one-page CV summary when they expect a large pool of applicants. Now, a resume is kind of like a summary CV, but a resume, as I said, is much more precise. A CV is still a very vague document. Now, when we talk about sample CVs and stuff like that, I'll be putting up this document template kind of thing. I'll put the entire web page in the Google Classroom forum and on the WhatsApp group as well, so you won't really have to worry about it. Now, there are many other things. There's resume basics, the resume versus cover letters. For now, what is a resume? So before we go to cover letters, let's talk about what a resume is. Now, a resume is a summary of education, वगैरह, same things. Optional sections such as resume objective and career summary statement should be as concise as possible, is usually 1 page long, sometimes as long as 2, and often includes bullet lists to keep information concise. Now, resumes come in few types: chronological, functional, combination, and stuff like that. I won't really go into all of the details, but just for your sake, let's look at some of the basic types of resume. So a chronological resume is usually that which is, chronological. It has in order of date, starting with most recent job and stuff like that. Then we have functional resume, which has one particular function. It is based on the function, so it focuses on skills and abilities and stuff like that rather than the chronological work history. And then we have combination resume, which is a combination of both. Targeted resume, which is specifically for one particular job or one particular organization. Infographics are something that I think I should show you because they're really cool. So basically what it does is, this is an infographic resume. What it does is it utilizes all of the information that you have and it brings in graphical design elements that make it look better. And when to use one is very important. So generally speaking, unless requested, people usually prefer traditional resumes over infographic ones. Unless you're a design professional, it can be really hard to pull off a great resume, infographic one, and a not so great one is likely to do more damage than good. Yes, also it is that they can be missed in the job application process, as sometimes the tracking system scans it for keywords and not able to recognize text in an infographic resume can cause a lot of issues. So that is one thing. However, consider it as a supplement to post on your LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn is a business version of Facebook basically. So LinkedIn allows you to contact business people. It allows you to have internship offers and all of that. Even though Internshala exists, LinkedIn has been there before, and it does a great job at doing everything. So this is all part of this website. You'll find more information, how to craft your resume, format your resume and stuff like that, templates and all. However, if you do not want to take a lot of efforts in making your own resume, I'd suggest you do this. Search for resume builder on any search engine. It is not compulsory to search on DuckDuckGo or anything. You can use Google if you use Google. I just prefer DuckDuckGo. So when I search resume builder, I get these multiple links. Personally, I've used resume.com and I've also used, I believe, resumebuilder.org. So now what is the difference between these two? Now see, Easy Resume Builder, it does not ask for anything. It does not do anything different. So you just start with your name. Wow, I just misspelled my own name. Oh my. do not like it when I misspell my name or anybody misspells my name, so let's do that. Okay, what job title you're looking for, so that based on that we can find a template. So let's just assume I'm looking for management. That way it will give me multiple templates. Now I'll click select template, and I can put in my email address, my education, and headers. Now these are headers. Okay, so these are multiple, this is in the header itself what will go there. So my email ID will go there, so I'll put in my email ID, I'll put in my phone number, management and stuff like that. Next, what is your contact information, which I will not be giving in this. So yeah, I don't really want to create an account, so I'll skip for now. Okay, cool. Let's just go with next. Okay, cool. Now you can see my email address is over here, my number is over here. Now let's add education. So what all education have I done? So I'll put in my school name. Obviously I didn't go to Bly International School, but you know, what did I study? Yes. What city? Again, no. So at Bly International School, I learned stupidity. Then we go to what my academic achievements are. Yes. So these are some of my achievements. Yeah, then so that's the thing, so it will immediately do that. Now skills, do I have any skills? That's a good question. So what are my standout skills? Let's just assume I'm an educator. I am kind of an educator, so yes. Then I am a presenter, because why not. I am a student. Okay, that's not a skill. Okay, let's just add some serious ones. I am an editor, kind of. I am an animator, kind of. Okay, animator is not on the list. Oh well. Anyway, I'm a creative. I have creative writing skills. I am okay, there is no such thing as dedication. Okay, anyway, so these are the skills I have. They get immediately plugged in over there. Experience. Now experience is something that is very important. So let's say I worked at some company or organization known as imbecile means stupid, by the way. So what was my role or job title? I was the founder and CEO of Imbecile and Company. If I'm currently employed, that means from today onwards, then this is the start date, the end date. If I'm currently employed, that means that from that date till today. So it is not compulsory to add the end date, city, state, country. I'm not going to add that. What were your responsibilities and accomplishments? I made sure my employees were complete and total in the sales. Perfect job description. Next. Now I finish, and you can, okay, I do not want to see that. So now you can see over here that there is no summary per se, but I can add a summary. I can add a new resume if I create an account, obviously. Imbecile. So this is my basic resume, and it's a pretty good resume. It's very good. And that is why this is an example of something that you should use. Resume.com is cool. You can create your own free resume on it, and it doesn't really cost you anything. And you get a proper PDF rather than stupid text not being able to be copied. That's one. Then we have resume builder. Now resume builder is slightly different in terms of the templates that it uses. It has uh, you know jumps to another website called myperfectresume.com. You can create a resume. How long have you been working? So 0 to 3 years. Are you a student? Yes. Recommended templates. Now these are quite cool, actually. These are quite cool. Then we have traditional. Interesting. We have many traditional. We have modern. These are actually quite good. I love these. So these are also good. Now let's just for you know some random reason, let's just select this one. Create a new resume. Now you can fill in your first name again. I hate this. I really do hate this. Okay. Phone number and email address. So again, you've already seen my phone number. You already know my email address. Next, education. Now this is something you should fill in again. Then you fill out your work history again, like before: job title, employee, employer, who it was, city, state, and employer is basically the organization or company you worked at. Then if you want to leave this section, skip for now. Let's take care of your skills. So you put in your skills over here. So if you preview this right now, it's going to put in random text because I haven't put in anything over here. So it's going to look pretty basic. Education, just random, some school and stuff like that. Highly motivated, professional summary and stuff, blah 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 blah. You can you get the basic idea. So you can find multiple skills. The summary, you can put in the summary experienced with. They have multiple different templates as well. So if you want, you can use that and add your job title, number of years and stuff like that. Extra sections, these are accomplishments, affiliations, websites and stuff, additional information, certifications and stuff like that. And finally, you can use any other template at the end if you want to change it. So I can sit down and edit it over here as well. I can put it up or down based on my preference and stuff like that. So this is all great. This is all very great. Now, what if you don't want to do that either? What if you want a resume that is respected? What if you want a resume that is very respectable? You go to internshala.com, you log in, and then you go down here, edit resume. Now I already have a resume created over here, so I won't really be changing any of that. But the thing is, if you're doing a training that is being offered by Internshala itself, it will usually come down here in trainings. You'll get this sort of thing over here, and that's pretty cool. You can put in your projects, your skills, the level that you are doing stuff in, and then you can download it. And I'll be showing you a demo of how it looks. I just open it instead of saving it and stuff. Okay, I hope you all can see this. Over here you can see it has a pretty basic layout. You cannot really select most of the text, but because this is a PDF editor, I can. Number, place, and basic stuff. You can put in positions of responsibility, trainings, mechatronics, and all of that. Projects, skills, whatever you have, work samples. You can put in your additional details and stuff like that. Okay, so it's not that big a deal. It is pretty cool, and it is something you should really look forward to, mostly. However, what are the guidelines that you should be taking in order to include something in a resume? Over here, all ready for you. So guidelines for what to include in a resume. First of all, these are common things. It's not necessary that you have to do it like this itself, but it's pretty accurate and it's better because I looked at this as well. This is really cool, and it helped me do things. So first of all, resume guidelines. What are our resume guidelines? So first of all, what do people usually look at? They look at your length. Okay, so it should be maximum 2 pages in a resume. They look at these are examples. I'll be putting this in the Google Classroom forum and all. These are they look at the font and size. Do not use fonts that are difficult to read. These are typical fonts, but it's not necessary you should have a particular font. But usually Times New Roman is pretty necessary. However, any other font that is readable is completely fine. Font size should be within 10 and 12 points through although your name and section headings can be a little larger or bold. And here's how to select a font. You can click that as well. Page margins, it should be very standard. Layout should also be typical. You need to decide to organize sections. Make sure each section is uniform. Put the name of one company in italics, and every company name must be in italics. If you do that, you need everything to be uniform. Information to avoid: personal information such as birthday, height, weight, marital status, and all of that. That is something that goes on your Facebook profile, not over here. Or Instagram does not need that. People are all my life, my rules. So anyway, accuracy, it should be pretty accurate. So if you're going to send your resume, you should make sure there's no spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes, tenses, names of companies and stuff like that. Make sure it's not wrong. Make sure it's up to date. Make sure you've added everything. This is a proofreading checklist that you can use to check whether or not it is perfect. Have a friend or a career services counselor check over your resume as well, and that's pretty important. So these two sentences are pretty important. What to include on your resume? Here's some information that you should be sure to include on your resume. And then there's identification, name, address, and stuff like that. Professional email address, so use johnsmith@gmail.com rather than soccerlover@hotmail.com. That is something I do completely wrong. I have omniversal7@gmail.com, and that is something I've been using since I was a child, and I think I should probably change it to apurvaterwadkar@gmail.com. Let's see. Objective, this section is optional. It is what your objective is. If you know what position you're applying for, that is the resume you should use. Profile, it's something that includes a summary of your goals and all of that. Education, you should put all of these, include the degrees in reverse chronological order. So what that means, reverse chronological order, means that the most latest degree should be first. So if your ongoing degree is a BTech mechanical engineering or a BTech computer science, or you're doing commerce at some point, or you're doing something else, or you're still in 10th grade or 12th grade, that should be on top, and everything should go back to smaller. That's called reverse chronology, based on time. Then we have experience. This is an experience section, again in reverse chronological order, with most recent degree listed first. This can include jobs, internships, volunteer work. Volunteer work is something that people do a lot, but they never think to put it in resume, and I do put it a lot of times, and that's why it helps. So that's cool. Skills are optional. It's not necessary if you want to put it. Volunteer work, where you had the volunteer experience, not necessary. If you want to convey your leadership, communication skills, etc., put it there. It's up to you. This is a resume sample again. They've done everything that they've asked for. There's volunteer work, I believe, somewhere over here. Oh no, this one does not have the volunteer work. So that's the thing. So these are all examples. You can use a lot of resources. Everything is available for you. You all need not worry about anything. Everything is available. Just look for it. I'm open all the time. That's it for this video. CV and resumes, or CV or resumes. These are things that are usually very important when you're applying for a job, when you're doing something professional. Always try to maintain a CV. If you earn something new, if you learn something new, if you give something new, put it in your CV. I should go and check my CV soon because I have forgotten to update it since 5 years. Also, the Google Classroom forum is consistently active, but nobody is doing anything over there, so I'll just be putting the posts over there. Assignment is due. I mentioned I'll be putting out a surprise assignment. Yes, the surprise assignment is you have to, I asked you to be confident and all. So you have to put out a 5-minute speech. It's not impromptu. You can prepare, you can write down, you can learn it and then say it does not really matter, but you need to be able to confidently convey your emotions and all of that. And that is why I'm asking you. It's not necessary 5 minutes is maximum. You can do it in 2 minutes, you can do it in, well, actually don't do it in 1 minute. 1 minute is minimum, because otherwise that would be like, hello, good morning, my name is Apurva Terwadkar, okay, please go. That is not something I'm expecting. I expect some level of effort from your side. So minimum 1 minute, maximum 5 minutes speech on any topic at all. Any topic at all. Just make sure that before you start the video, you mention that, yeah, I'm going to be talking about the topic, and then you start. Please make sure that it's not some sort of typical speech. It's like, good morning to all of my fellow friends, respect to all of the dignitaries on the dais and all of that, namaskar, pailagu. No. Imagine you're giving a speech at some place. Okay, so it's okay if you use honorifics. Honorifics are basically words you use to give respect to somebody. It's fine if you use that. If you say respect or thank you to all of the dignitaries on the dais, or thank you to all the judges on the dais and stuff like that, that's fine. But make sure you're not doing it in some typical way, like myself, Apurva Terwadkar. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That will make sure that I deduct your points. This will be judged out of 15 points or 15 marks. And yes, this assignment has points. First assignment has I think weightage of 10 points. It had a weightage of 10 points. This one has 15 points, and I will be making sure that I use all of these points to grade you for your final assessment. And yes, that exists, that will be happening. You don't really have to study too much for it, except for the aptitude test. And that's pretty much it. That's it for this video. Next video will be about presentation skills, what you should do to make sure your presentation looks better, and all of the small bits and pieces of experience that I have from presenting for so many years, and so long that I've actually gotten bored of presenting. But I'm still not experienced. I still fail, I still go wrong, and that's the thing. Experience teaches you a lot. So next video is about presentation skills, and that will be the final video of the entire course, after which I'll be putting out a few series of small videos on the WhatsApp group in order to explain the chronology of what all has happened. I'll probably put out a summary video at the end of the entire course, maybe, depending on how much traction this gets. And let's see what happens. Let's hope for the best, and hopefully we end with a bang. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.